against the White Sox. And another guy, we talked about it with Kevin Gausman, it is quite possible, especially if Bieber has another good start or two, that a contender may come calling for his services. But first things first, the Rays lineup today. We told you about the big three. Victor Mesa Jr. is the man in the cleanup spot today. He's been hot. He's got power. Chandler Simpson is a guy a lot of people have been talking about because the Blue Jays have had so much trouble keeping him off base here in this series. We'll see how Shane Bieber tries to do it here this afternoon.
Well, Shane Bieber is a veteran pitcher that's been sitting around for 3 days watching this Rays offense, and I'm sure he has been studying them, and he knows one thing for sure: you have to try to keep them off the base pass and don't let them use their speed. But this Kevin Cash has really got his lineup split today. Shane has actually been hit hard by right-handed batters. We see Johnny DeLuca in the lineup. We see Ben Williamson added to the lineup, so it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. And as I said in the open, a good fielder himself, he may have to put on those defensive skills this afternoon. And defensively behind Shane Bieber, Davis Schneider back with the big club. Today he gets the start in left field. Miles Straw replaces Varsho in center, and Yohendrick Pinongo, he's recalled yesterday. He's the only left-handed bat in the Blue Jays lineup this afternoon. Okamoto and Clement on the left side. Jimenez with the day off today. Luis Urias gets the start at second base. Vladdy at first, and Alejandro Kirk behind the plate.
And Yandy Diaz settling into the batter's box here at Rogers Center. Brennan Miller is the home plate umpire today. Diaz actually had an 0 for 5 in yesterday's game. Did hit a 3-run home run on Tuesday night, had a couple of hits on Monday. Takes a fastball just outside of the knees, and this ball game is underway with ball 1. Some power, very good contact hitter, hits for an average, works the count. Bieber going to his pitch com. He and Alejandro Kirk maybe having a little early pitch com conversation about what pitch they wanted to throw. Looked like a little technology back and forth there. Maybe it's not working. Maybe that's the problem. Yeah. I can't hear, says Shane Bieber. That's why Bieber called the pitch, because he wasn't hearing anything from Kirk's pitch com.
Not sure if they're in sync yet.
Comes up now. The 2-0. And that comes in high, and 3-0 on Diaz. Walks were not really an issue for Bieber in the last start against the White Sox, but in some of the earlier outings they were. And obviously Shane Bieber is much more of a command finesse guy than he is a power guy, so he's got to have the good command. Foul play, and it's 3-2.
Like that right there, when you're behind 3-1 and you go with your fastball, you try to get it out there. Still dangerous toward the middle of that plate, but when he is right, he can be dotting those edges. And I still remember that first start when he came back last year down in Miami. I have never seen an artist on the mound like that afternoon, especially with his slider down the way to righties.
This one is popped up for Guerrero, who is battling the sun as he comes in to make the play. 1 down.
And we've seen Bieber for the most part work away from hitters, lefties and righties. They're having a conversation right now, but that pitch he came inside. Watch Alejandro Kirk. 3-2 count. He slides in there and he's able to jam Diaz. Well executed.
Number 2 hitter that Bieber will face is Jonathan Aranda, who's actually been kind of quiet in this series for a guy who is as good as he is. You see the elements here today downtown. Aranda, a .286 hitter, 14 homers, went 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts yesterday, and has 3 hits so far in the series, all singles. A very early challenge from Alejandro Kirk. This closer look is brought to you by Specsavers. Kirk's one of the best at this, and woo, barely. but barely is good enough.
Shane will use that breaking ball away to left-handed hitters. He'll backdoor it. It didn't look like it came back, but Alejandro says, yes, just catching the edge. He was right.
And again, PitchCom is giving them issues, and Brendan Miller says, okay, enough is enough. Bring a new one out from the dugout.
I think they're having a little mound visit while they're at it.
Yeah, you can kind of sneak one of those in. It's like a free timeout, but that's why the umpire sometimes comes out. He wants to make sure that PitchCom is not is actually not working, that you're not just stealing a mound visit here.
No shenanigans.
Right.
You can see Bieber was almost, as he was talking to Kirk, he kind of head nodded toward Aranda. You know, he was talking about the hitter.
What is going on?
You know my rule, Dan. If you have technology issues, you have to finish the inning with your fingers, catchers. Go back old school.
I could see that. I could also, in all seriousness, see the day where if this happens, the team gets a ball assessed in the count, like it's a violation or something. So
something. Remember, we're doing this to speed up the game.
Right. And if you're Kevin Cash, like if this happens again, we might see Kevin Cash get a little bit irritated in that first base dugout. So far, he's just working on some seeds.
Nothing to get irritated about right now if you're the Tampa Bay Rays manager.
Yeah.
Beautiful day at the office for him.
All right, everybody back to work here, and the 0-1 to Aranda is high, a ball and a strike. They play him to pull on the infield. Okamoto way off the line at third as that fastball rides in high for ball 2.
Don't see him come into left-handers too often. He will once in a while with a cutter, but mostly lives away.
Took a little off, and it's fouled off. 2-2. It's a hard changeup, though. 88.4 when his fastball is about 92, 93. We've seen his changeup kind of look different from time to time.
Could be the grip, could be altering that pitch a little bit, getting a little bit of a different movement profile on it.
As you can see, though, his changeup has been a very good pitch for him this year. Well hit ball, deep right center field. Caught by Miles Straw. Boy, did he go a long way to run that one down.
Straw in there this afternoon, replacing Dalton Varsho, and I honestly did not think he was getting to this baseball, shading the left center gap against Aranda. He had a long way to go into the shadow, just in front of the wall.
Outstanding play. Shane Bieber loves it. Bieber and Straw were teammates in Cleveland, too, so Bieber familiar with Straw's work in the outfield long before he got to Toronto. Here's Junior Caminero, who has been on base an absolute ton in this series. He is 7 for 11 with 4 walks in the first 3 games of the series. To left field, and Davis Schneider is there, and Shane Bieber with a little help from Miles Straw works a 1-2-3 top of the first. And a look at the Blue Jay lineup today. Yohendrick Pinango is in the leadoff spot this afternoon, and he is the only left-handed batter in there with a lefty, and Ian Seymour expected to get some bulk work in the middle part of this game. Alejandro Kirk hit a home run yesterday. He is starting, or last night, he is starting to swing it a little bit better. But again, the Blue Jays just desperate for offense. Davis Schneider is back. We'll tell you what he had been doing at Buffalo when he comes up. The opener today for the Rays is right-hander Casey Legumina.
Casey Legumina is 29 years old. He's in his 4th season with his 3rd team. He was DFA'd by the Mariners, traded to the Rays back in April. He's got a low arm slot, side armor, and with Pinango as the only left-handed hitter in the lineup here, he's very tough on lefties, but you wonder if John Schneider's expecting to see Ian Seymour, the left-hander, later today. He's a guy that's very tough on righties. So maybe a little gamesmanship here between the managers, how they put out their lineups today.
John Schneider felt that Pinango, that his swing path, that he had a good shot against both Legumina and Seymour. So Pinango is leading off. You see his numbers, been up and down a few times this season between the big leagues and AAA.
A lot of four-seam fastballs and changeups to left-handers from Legumina. He'll use the sinker as well with 2 breaking pitches to righties.
Very close, but it is ball 2, either missed just away or just down. Either way, now a 2-1 count on Pinango. That's high, ball 3. This Blue Jays team has been chasing a lot this year. It's been one of the offensive problems. We'll see if Pinango can make sure he only swings at one if it's a good one, because the count is in his favor. That's a good one to swing at, but he didn't square it up, and it's 3-2. George Springer DHing, hitting in the cleanup spot again today. And out of play, it remains a full count on Pinango.
Not an overpowering fastball, but you can see from that low arm angle, a little tough to get to for Pinango.
Guerrero on deck. Ernie Clement hitting 3rd today. Pinango using his timeout to readjust the batting gloves. Chops it to 3rd. Camanero's got it and throws him out.
Defensively this afternoon for Kevin Cash's club, Chandler Simpson back out in left field. Johnny DeLuca gets the start in right. The lefty hitting Cedric Mullins is on the bench. Victor Mesa Jr. back in right field this afternoon. Junior Caminero at 3rd. Ben Williamson making just his 16th start at shortstop this season. He's made 40 starts over at second base. Palacios is there today with a Rond at 1st, and Hunter Fiducia behind the plate again.
And now Legumina starts Vladimir Guerrero Jr. with a strike. Guerrero went 1 for 4 last night. Doubled off the right field wall in the 1st, grounded out in his other 3 at-bats. And Legumina's out in front of him, 0-2, challenging him with a couple of fastballs to get it started here, a 4-seamer and then a 2-seamer.
Right-handed hitters have had a lot of success against Legumina, and really on all of his pitches they've hit him.
It looks like it gets on you a little bit for 93, doesn't it?
And that's why I mean that arm angle, maybe it's just, you're right, it looks like it's 97 when you're watching it.
And a well-placed breaking ball away, a slider to get him swinging, 2 down.
And after those fastballs that looked high velocity, he put this in a perfect spot. Looks like a strike most of the way. That's what gets the swing from Guerrero.
And there's no question, we've seen it who knows how many times this year. Pitchers are trying to get Guerrero out east and west, not north and south. Sinkers in, sliders away. Ernie Clement up the middle with a base hit. The pattern Legumina used against Guerrero is a frequent pattern that we have seen. Try to get ahead of him by running hard stuff in on him and then try to get him to chase off the plate to put him away.
It's pitching 101, but I think it's a little bit new around baseball this year. I just feel like we're seeing more and more sinkers this season, especially right on right. Guerrero's seeing it. I feel like Springer's seeing it. Okamoto is seeing it.
It's funny, and the sinker had kind of fallen out of favor when the launch angle era began, because now you want to throw the 4-seamer up above the bat. Guys are trying to lift the ball, but you're right, the sinker has really come back into play. And another 0-2 count here, this time on Springer.
On a sinker, middle in.
Clement at first, 2 down, and the 0-2 with the runner going is tapped foul up the first baseline. The Rays are going to see if it might roll back fair, but it won't.
It's the right thing to do. Good job by Aranda. You never know if he catches, especially when there's a cut of grass or cut of the artificial turf here at Rogers Center. Never know if it touches that and kicks back. No point in fielding it if the runner's not going.
Now a ball and 2 strikes on Springer.
And I think in saying what we're saying about the whole sinker east-west stuff, I think the Blue Jays hitters have not adjusted as well as they need to. That's the bottom line here, right? Because it's happening all around baseball.
David Popkins, the hitting coach, had a chance to speak with him today, and he used the phrase that they're on defense in the box. He wants them on offense, attacking, not just trying to make contact. The same things we've heard from John Schneider, of course, during the years. This is chopped foul up the third baseline, and you know, swing with intent, let it rip, do damage until you get to a 2-strike count. Obviously, everything changes when you get to a 2-strike count, but it's been frustrating for the hitters. It's been frustrating for the coaches. Clement draws a throw. And now a full count on Springer, meaning that Clement is going to get a running start at first. Aranda letting the infielders know that he's going to stay on the bag. He will hold Ernie on as Springer is about to see the 8th pitch of the at-bat. There goes Clement, and it's ball 4. So the Blue Jays trying to put something together with 2 outs here. A single by Clement, a walk to Springer. And that'll bring up Alejandro Kirk, who went 2 for 3 last night, including his 3rd home run of the season. A slider for a strike, 0-1. Legamina likes to work quickly. Check swing foul into the Rays dugout. Another 0-2 count. Kirk using his timeout. You get 1 per plate appearance. Legamina is not working the pitch clock at all. He wants to get the ball and throw the ball.
Yeah, some pitchers love that, timing the pace of that, getting it and going. And he's got a good quick delivery to the plate too in terms of controlling a running game. So it all kind of works in his favor.
The 0-2, and this is hit weakly up the third baseline. Caminero cannot make a play, and here comes Clement to score. And Springer is into third. So some opportunistic base running by the Blue Jays to give them an early 1-0 lead.
Well, this is such a heads-up play by Ernie Clement, because after Caminero cannot come up with this baseball, he's watching. He watches for a split second, realizes Caminero's going in one direction, the ball's rolling in the other direction, and he just took off. Right about now, he realizes Caminero doesn't really know where the ball is.
And that allowed Springer to come to third. It'll be an infield hit for Kirk. Another close-up shot of Clement. And it's a great rule for young kids who play. Never take anything for granted when you're running the bases.
Literally, keep your eyes on the baseball. Know where the baseball is all of the time. And that was an okay effort by Caminero. He figured if he had a shot, he had to barehand the baseball. But once you miss it, you have to understand there's a runner right behind you. And I think that's what he took for granted.
So it's an infield hit for Kirk. No word on an RBI, whether they'll give him one or not. There will have to be some sort of a ruling on what allowed Clement to come home. That's a scoring thing. We'll wait for that. Either way, the inning continues with runners at first and third with 2 outs for Kazuma Okamoto. And boy, wouldn't the Blue Jays love to see him get hot. He has really had some peaks and valleys here in his rookie season.
Sure has. It started out tough, and then he made some adjustments in the batter's box that we talked about extensively. It really paid off, but he'll start to struggle again.
Very high in the air towards the left field corner, and it'll wind up foul and out of play.
Heads up baseball all around. One by Ernie, but then George on the back end taking advantage of that extra 90 feet as well, sliding to the back part of that third base bag.
That's a pitch Okamoto had been swinging through in recent days. You're not going to be able to do a lot with that pitch, but with 2 strikes, he did well enough to at least foul it off.
You watch his stride foot when he hits, it really flies open, and it makes it more difficult to cover that outside part of the plate.
And a swing and a miss and a ball in on him to end the inning. But the Blue Jays make a little contact, run the bases well. Ernie Clement doing that, and they get a run out of it. Clement in with a headfirst slide, 1-0 Blue Jays at the end of an inning.
Well, Max Scherzer's philosophy when it comes to rehab outings is if you're going to discount the ones that don't go well, you have to discount the ones that do. So forget about the 5 scoreless, hitless innings for the Buffalo Bisons yesterday. All Scherzer cares about said he woke up today feeling, quote, great and well recovered, ready for what's next. Now, what's next is an interesting question because Patrick Corbin went on the IL today with a teres major strain that's going to keep him from throwing for weeks, and the Blue Jays lack major league depth. That makes it possible Scherzer foregoes another rehab assignment and makes his next start in the majors. Of course, the trade deadline also a factor here. Scherzer would likely draw some interest, particularly if teams see him healthy and effective at the big league level. But as you might expect, when I asked Scherzer about his thoughts heading towards the deadline, he was not having it. Quote, there's nothing for me to say. The front office has a job to do. We have a job to do. We need to win baseball games. We've got to go 1-0 today. When we get to the deadline and whatever happens, we'll talk about that then. But today, we have a job to go 1-0.
Arden, thank you. You are looking at video of Max Scherzer, who started Game 7 of the World Series for this team a year ago. He is hoping to get back off the IL and resume pitching. John Schneider said before the game there's no, quote, no concrete news on his next outing. They are still sorting through that, but one thing Schneider then went on to say, they don't want to get caught in the back and forth of he feels good, he doesn't feel good, he feels good, he doesn't feel good. They want to make sure, as much as they can, that he feels good before he resumes at the big league level. It does sound like there will be one more minor league outing, but again, nothing is set in stone right now. But as Arden said, it could go a bunch of different ways. If the Blue Jays sell, would there be interest in Max Scherzer, and would he approve a deal because he's got a full no trade clause in his contract? Don't know.
Yep. And at this point in his career, you would think he'd want to pitch for a contender if that becomes the case.
Rounded down to first. It hit the bag, and Guerrero just made a heck of a play. Unless my eyes are deceiving me, that ball hit the base, and the bounce was not what he expected, but he still made the play to get the out.
Well, let's take a look at this then. The one big chop. There's the second.
No, it didn't.
Just missed it. Your eyes deceived
my
you. My
eyes deceived me there.
Still a pretty good play, though.
That won't be on Jason 30, will it?
He will have to range far to his left here, just fully outstretched, too, to get there.
Didn't it look like the bounce did not come up for
I
him,
thought
or?
The bounce looked funny when you said the base, and then in my head I'm thinking, okay, maybe it was the base, but no, it's just the way he had to reach so far for it.
Well, in my defense, it only missed by 4.5 feet.
Yeah, it was close. None of this will be on Jason 30. A great play again by Vladdy, and he has been playing a very good first base this season. Taking extra bases, that time away from Mesa Jr.
Here's Johnny DeLuca getting a start in center field today. Had a big game on Monday night. Drove in 3 runs in that game. And Bieber just got a 93-mile-an-hour fastball comfortably by him to get out in front of 1-2. Up the middle, but right out to Urias at second. 2 down.
Good location again on the outside part of the plate, and we talked about that in his last start against the White Sox. Command. This is what he does very well. Keep it out there away from damage. Talked about his Gold Glove that he has also, but that one got by him as he knew his second baseman was right behind him.
So now really the ultimate challenge for a Blue Jay pitcher in this series. Can they get Chandler Simpson out? Keep him off the bases. He is an extreme contact hitter. Bieber is not a big strikeout guy. You would imagine there is going to be contact in this at bat. Is it at somebody in time for them to make a play on him?
My theory is just throw him a bunch of fastballs. Let him put the ball in play and hopefully puts in play hard right at somebody.
Okamoto way in at third. Guerrero still behind the bag, but a couple of steps in at first. Gets the call there, and it's 2-1. Simpson in the series 6 for 10 with a couple of walks and 3 stolen bases. Up the middle, here comes Clement. Gotta hurry, and they'll get him. So Ernie Clement with some nifty base running in the bottom of the first, and a good play out at short here in the top of the second to take care of the speedy Simpson. Well, what a day to have a drone cam here at the ballpark. This bird's eye view is provided by WestJet, official airline of the Toronto Blue Jays.
What a day, what a view, what a beautiful stadium.
Looks like a full house again today, Joe. Day after day after day. Blue Jays up 1-0, bottom 2. Welcome back Davis Schneider, who spins out of the way of an inside breaking ball. It is ball 1. Schneider in 16 games in Buffalo after he was sent down the last time. 294, 5 home runs in addition to 15 walks. You know he's going to take his walks, but was swinging more, feeling more confident, more aggressive. A couple little mechanical changes, getting the ball in the air more, and was hitting for power. That's on the outside corner, 2-1. So Schneider recalled Sean Key's option. They were going to have trouble finding regular playing time for Keys. The Blue Jays, including possibly Ian Seymour today, will see a number of lefties in the next little while. Looks like 2 in Boston, 1 in Washington. So Schneider should get some pretty regular playing time. He thought that was outside. It looked like he does not challenge it, and it might have clipped the corner. Either way, it's 2-2.
Legumina just dotting that edge.
And Ian Seymour is up. Again, just one lefty in the starting lineup today. That's Piñango, who is in the leadoff spot. Ball 4. Schneider takes a walk.
Well, one thing you do know is Davis Schneider is going to make you throw strikes, and he just waited out the Rays right-hander there, and the leadoff man is on.
So now Luis Urias, and you can see from the composition of the lineup that John Schneider put most of it into the Ian Seymour bucket, expecting the lefty to get multiple innings.
Except Ian Seymour is really tough on righties.
This is hit hard but foul. Yeah, Legumina has more trouble with righties, and Seymour has more trouble with lefties. So it was I'm sure it was an interesting meeting when they tried to decide what the best lineup was for today.
You usually would plan for the guy that you're going to see the most of, and that's Seymour. But it'll be very interesting to see all of these Blue Jays righties now against the lefty Seymour. Changeup is a very good effective pitch for him, as well as a sweeper.
Popped up foul. Aranda giving chase, but it's out of play. And a couple of strikes on Urias. Urias hit a couple of home runs early in his Blue Jays tenure. Ground ball down to third. To second one. And it is in time at first to turn it with a big stretch from Aranda.
Cameron feeds it clean. It wasn't a great feed to his second baseman, and sometimes that's the most important part of a play like that. But Palacios able to handle it, make the turn.
So that'll bring up Miles Straw getting the start in center. You've already seen a very good catch from Straw in this game. Straw batting in the 9 spot this afternoon, hitting .222 on the season. A called strike there, and it's 0-2. Very much an east-west guy, Casey Legumina. Again, the sinker's in, the slider's away. That's obviously the game plan. And a pop-up. Caminero roaring down the third base line as the catcher Fiducia gets out of the way. And that's all for the Blue Jays in the bottom of the second. So yesterday before the game, the Blue Jays may be trying to break the tension a little bit. A bunch of them got out there with a soccer ball. That was Shane Bieber sending it over to Ernie Clement. And of course, no surprise that Ernie just has that in his back pocket because he is the all-around athlete. Vladdy getting in on it. George Springer as well. A bunch of the fellas out there just trying again to have a little fun. It's a long season. It hasn't been going well. I know Bieber is a big soccer fan, a Liverpool fan, I believe. I don't know if Ernie Clement has a team, but Bieber loves to talk soccer with anybody who is a soccer fan. On the mound today, so far so good. 6 up, 6 down. On the heels of 6 scoreless innings against the White Sox his last time out. So he'll face 7, 8, 9 here in the third. Beginning with Ben Williamson, who was getting the start at short. Taylor Walls, remember, he jammed his hand into second base last night. So he may still be feeling the effects of that. And Bieber, because righties are hitting him a lot better this year than lefties, Williamson might have been in there anyways. Williamson got a start on Tuesday night against Kevin Gausman, another righty with reverse splits, and that paid off. He had a couple of hits off Gausman and 4 hits in the game. That baseball doesn't have any strikes in it, so Shane Bieber.
Get a new one.
This is a very relatively small sample size. It's over 2 years, but both of them abbreviated. But that's a huge reverse splits situation there with the righties hitting Bieber way more than lefties. And Shane now falls behind 3-0.
I think that changeup certainly comes into play. Hasn't thrown many of them today to the lefties, but usually that's a very effective weapon. The 4-seam fastball combined with his changeup, making it tough on lefties. Righties, you can see how maybe if he's, I said earlier that he's going to work a lot of hitters away for the most part. If the 4-seamer, the cutter, the slider aren't out on the edges, it's not overpowering stuff. You can see how damage is done by righties against Bieber.
He went around and it's 3-2.
That's a good one.
Good pitch and a good job by Williamson to get a piece of it. Against righties, the goal is down and away, down and away, down and away. Don't let him get the good part of the bat on the ball. A little bit late on it, and it's fouled out of play. Up to 94 on that fastball. And 94 will be about top end for Bieber, who generally will sit between 92 and 93 with his four-seamer.
Velo came down a bit in that start against the White Sox later on, 5th and 6th innings, but the stuff was so good it certainly played. Velocity not everything for Bieber style.
Ground ball left side to his left, Okamoto, and a good play to get him one down.
Very nice play by Okamoto at third base here. He has had some recent struggles around that third base bag, but ranges very well to his left glove, right to the ground. Spins and stays under control to make that accurate throw.
Bieber's doing a lot of finger pointing at his teammates today.
That's good.
Liking
That's
the defense, yeah. Here's Richie Palacios, the second baseman, hitting in the 8th spot, batting .233. And a high strike call there, 0-1. Bieber will take it. That changeup looked like it was above the zone, but it goes Bieber's way. No doubt about that. Well placed fastball, 0-2.
Bieber works from the first base side of the pitching rubber, and I would say mostly so he can be consistent glove side, which is to a lot of those righties I'm talking about. He's trying to really paint that outside. No problem with that being away to lefties. Most pitchers mechanically really have to work to get it glove side.
Another play for Okamoto. Got to hurry on this one, and they got him. We will see if that holds up or if the Rays ask for a challenge. And no challenge coming from Tampa Bay. So another good play and out number 2.
Nicely done on defense. You knew as soon as this ball was hit off the bat of Palacios, it was going to be close. Runs pretty well. It's just chopped the other way. Ranging to his right this time. Ooh, just gets him. We've seen. Whoa.
No, he might have been out.
Yeah.
Might have been out. Too close for the Rays to feel they should challenge this early in the game. 1-1 on the catcher, Hunter Fiducia. Nick Fortes, the other catcher, started the first 2 games of the series, homered in each. This is lined to right field, and it's down for a base hit. Up against the wall, Piñango's throw into second. It's a double for Fiducia, the first hit of the afternoon off Bieber.
Hunter Fiducia and Nick Fortes pretty well split time behind the plate for the Rays. Left-handed hitter gets the start again this afternoon, and he's all over this fastball. This is a fastball that catches a lot of the plate, and that can be an issue for Bieber. It's not top velocity.
So the first base runner as well for the Rays, and Fiducia is in scoring position with 2 down for Yandy Diaz, who popped up to first to begin the ball game. He'll take it high. Line drive right center and down for a hit. Piñango plays it on a bounce, and that will bring in Fiducia. No, he's not home, but now comes home to score. He was 3/4 of the way to the plate, and for some reason didn't get all the way there. He must have thought the ball had been caught, and he very nearly cost the Rays a run. He still looks befuddled out there.
There's no reason to stop either way. It was a looping line to the right. I thought Piñango was getting there no problem, but right there Fiducia must have just thought, they're yelling at him, hey, now he doesn't know what to do.
But even once he started hearing people yell, why stop and start to go back to third? But
he panicked.
Wow.
in the end, it looked like a ball that should have been caught in right field. Pinyango not getting a very good read at all, and then it just landed in front of him. And there's that defense plays again against the Blue Jays.
So it ties the game at 1. And here's Aranda, who hit the fly ball to deep right center. The really good catch by Straw. Off the glove of Guerrero. He's still got time, and he feeds Bieber for the out. A run on a couple of hits to tie the game here mid-3. Yohendrick Pinyango is going to lead it off here in the bottom of the 3rd in what is now a 1-1 game. One more look at the base hit by Yandy Diaz, and you said you think that ball should have been caught.
Yeah, it was a looping liner on this curveball down in the zone. It had a lot of hang time, and I think he was just maybe a little bit nervous to come in too hard and let it land in front of him. Base runner clearly confused there, but yes, that's just another one of those issues on defense there. Come and get that baseball, it's a catch, but we've seen a lot of struggles from Pinyango. He's been working hard at trying to improve upon that, but it's just frustrating for a pitcher, I'm sure, to give up a run right there to tie this ball game.
Ian Seymour, a lefty, is in from the bullpen after Casey Legumina went the first 2 innings as the opener. And Pinyango, the first batter he will face. Seymour started the year in the bullpen, has moved into the rotation, but had a couple of really short outings his last 2 times out. 3 1/3 and 3 innings. Here's a drive to right field. This is carrying, and it's over the head of Mesa. Pinyango better hurry, and the ball is dropped out at second, allowing him to slide in safely. Bit of a tricky hop out there at the bag, and that may have been the difference. Pinyango in with a double.
You're right on. The ball was definitely going to be there. I saw him rounding first, and that's what you want to do. Watch how the fielder plays the ball off the wall. But Mesa Jr. fielded it cleanly, and he's got a very strong arm, just short hopping the shortstop a hair. And Williamson couldn't hang on.
Boy, from Mesa's perspective, the carom couldn't have been better, and he barehanded it, making a very good play. But it still works out for the Blue Jays, and here's Guerrero, who struck out in the first against Legumina. Around to the first baseman, way off the bag. And that's the changeup that the right-handed batters have to be wary of. That's the pitch that Seymour is most effective with.
Opposing hitters just hitting 132 against his changeup, and he gets a lot of swing and miss. A lot of four-seam fastball, sweeper, and changeup to right-handed batters.
Sweeper in for a strike, 1-2. In the air, right center, not deep. And the catch made by Mesa, and nowhere to go for Pinyango. He's got to stay at second.
Not overpowering at all either. He'll just be in the low 90s, Seymour, but when you pair it with that changeup, that fastball was on Vladdy, not getting to it.
Now Ernie Clement. He's had a busy day already. He's had a base hit, some good base running to slide into home. But the only Blue Jay run so far today. A nice defensive play as well. Found it back, 1-1. Seymour, a second-round pick in 2020. 3 outings ago, he struck out 12 in 5 1/3 against the Yankees. But again, the last 2 a much different story. Short outings, not as effective. And Clement lifts a fly ball to left for Simpson. He'll make the catch, and that is out number 2. Piñango's still at second. So, and not that you're thinking of Guerrero as a get him over guy, but whoever it is, if you can get him to third, that fly ball scores him. But now you've got 2 outs and the runner's still out at second.
That's why that at bat after the double is so big, and we've seen it before. But again, a fastball beats Vladdy, and he pops it up, and it's not very deep.
So 2 down now, and the batter is George Springer, who walked in the first. Fiducia asked for the appeal, but no swing, says John Tompain down at first, ball 1. The Blue Jays haven't been giving themselves many opportunities recently, so when you get one, thanks to a leadoff double, got to try to cash him in, but unable to execute so far. Again, the appeal, and this time he went 1-1. Blue Jays off to Boston after the game tonight. 3 with the high flying Red Sox, then 3 with the Nationals in Washington. Change up again. That's the pitch. That's the spot where Seymour can be very effective.
Pitching out of the bullpen for most of the season till about July. He made 4 straight starts with very mixed results. You mentioned some of them, and then he ran into the red hot Red Sox in that last start. Couple of home runs.
That one slipped out of his hand, a full count.
He would probably be considered their 5th starter if they were to acquire somebody at the deadline. He would probably be the one to head back to the bullpen.
And a lot of talk that given a chance to win the division, they will be aggressive and go after a starting pitcher. Off the glove of the shortstop Williamson into left. Piñango's on his way home. It's an RBI single for George Springer, and the Blue Jays lead 2-1.
Quite a piece of hitting by George Springer here. This is that changeup from Seymour, and he does not give up a lot of hits on that pitch. And it's out there, it's away, but he stays on that long enough to cover it. Still hit it pretty hard to the left side, and it gets through and into left.
So they couldn't get him over, get him in the traditional way, but a 2-out base hit does the job. And now here's Kirk. Kirk with an infield hit, and again was credited with an RBI in the first. Caminero tried to barehand it, bounced away from him. Ernie Clement around to third, came in to score. Kirk was given an RBI on the play. Now a chopper towards short. Williamson charges and makes the play to end the inning, but George Springer has given the Blue Jays the lead. A 2-out RBI single for Springer, getting it into left field, and at the end of 3 the Blue Jays lead 2-1. Roll out to Rogers Center on Saturday, August 1st, as the Jays celebrate Transformers Day. The first 15,000 fans will receive a Blue Jays Transformers hat featuring interchangeable front patches. And then stick around after the game for a post-game screening of Transformers the movie to celebrate its 40th anniversary. Visit BlueJays.com/promotions for more details. Getting a little busier on the Gardner, Joe.
Not going to be good later, is it?
No. Always a little busy going west.
Couple hours from now.
2-1, the Blue Jays are up going to the top of the 4th, and here's Junior Caminero to face Shane Bieber. Bieber catches the corner, and it's 0-1. Caminero lined out to left his first time up. Caminero, just 23 years of age, has played 15 games in his career here at Rogers Center and is hitting .381 in those games. Swings through that one, 1-2.
Wow.
Using his timeout, so Bieber's got to wait for a little bit. Through 3 innings, Bieber 1 run on 2 hits, no walks, no strikeouts. A lot of balls on the ground, a lot of ground ball outs for him today. And he strikes out Caminero. Threw him a nice little down and in changeup.
That's a beautiful pitch, especially following that fastball at the top of the zone. This one down and really coming off that finger nicely.
Strikeouts are brought to you by Subway. Get 25% off any footlong on game days. Order in the Subway app using the code STRIKEOUT. First of the afternoon for Bieber. And here's the right fielder, Victor Mesa Jr. Looks like the Rays have themselves something here. A 24-year-old who was with the Marlins, got a little bit of playing time in the majors last year, but has had some injuries, never really on solid footing in the big leagues. Was acquired in February for a minor leaguer, and he has worked his way into becoming a pretty big part of their team right now. We know he's got power. We've seen that. We know he's got an arm. We've seen that. You okay, Junior? Junior's okay.
You watching me? He said, you watching me? He knows.
He's saying you
get that
watch
camera.
the game.
Yeah.
Little directing there from Junior Caminero. Ooh, nice tricky hop for Okamoto, but he makes the play.
Kazuma Okamoto is playing some defense this afternoon. This is a tricky hop because it's a short hop after Mesa Jr. pounded that into the dirt, and he comes up with it cleanly, just trying to smother it coming over top. That's what you want to do with a short hop, though. Come and get it. Unfortunately, he still gave himself that short hop, which is tougher, but he made the play.
He's had 3 plays down there, none of them routine, but he's made all 3. 2 down, and here's Johnny DeLuca. Just missed, ball 1. To left center field, Schneider giving chase. It's going to be by him and up against the wall on a bounce. Straw will play it back into the infield. It's a 2-out double for DeLuca.
Johnny DeLuca hit a pretty good pitch right there. It's a curveball down and away. Gets out there and covers it. Very good swing. You see his legs really get into that swing to cover the pitch that's away and down from him.
This is how things started last inning. A 2-out double. Fiducia then would come in on the base hit by Diaz. Right now Bieber is going to face Chandler Simpson. Got him to ground out his first time up. In the air, shallow center field. Straw is there. And Bieber strands that runner out at second.
Well, anytime the Tampa Bay Rays start doing something unusual, it is best to pay attention because like half the league is going to be doing it next season. And one trend behind their success this year is exceptionally high changeup usage. Tampa Bay doesn't only lead the majors in changeup usage this season, they're throwing changeups more often than any team has since StatCast began tracking in 2008. And they have had a lot of success with these off-speed pitches. Opponents are hitting 174 against Rays changeups. That's the lowest batting average in baseball. They have a 203 OBP and a 270 slug. Those are both second lowest. And Ian Seymour, who you see on the mound right now, is a prime example of how well the Rays have used this pitch. His changeup is his most used offering this season. Opponents are hitting just 132 against it.
Arden, thank you. We've seen him use it effectively already here today since he entered the game. And You know, some teams, Joe, seem to have a type of pitcher that they like to acquire. The Blue Jays have had a ton of guys throwing splitters in recent years, and splitters and changeups are kind of similar. They're in the same family. Designed to get you out in front, off balance, a good pitch for a lefty against righties, for a righty against lefties. Do you think this is a conscious thing on the part of the Rays to really
absolutely.
focus on?
Yeah, just like I think the splitter thing is, and it's also how it plays with your other pitches. I think the game continues to evolve, right? And you know, in the pitching department, we've said for years it feels like the Rays are on to things just a little bit before everyone else. But maybe this is the next thing that's moving forward. I think any hitter will tell you changeups are not fun to face, especially for guys that throw pretty firmly. Have another secondary pitch with spin.
Well, you think the better a guy's fastball is, the better his changeup will be, and there's more velocity in the game right now than there's ever been.
And the difference with the changeup, I think, is spin. Some hitters you can identify. You see the curveball or slider coming, but the changeup looks a lot like a fastball.
That was it right there. So it's a 3-1 count, and he gets it again to the outer part of the plate away from Okamoto, and Okamoto cannot square it up. And he'll throw it in any count. In the air to right center. DeLuca taking charge, and he makes the catch.
And again, easier said than done, but the pitch you're referring to there too, you get that changeup off the plate away that could be ball 4, and all of a sudden it's 3-2, and then you pop up. And that's just one tiny example, but those are the things I feel like we've been seeing throughout the course of this season from Blue Jays hitters. John Schneider's talked about chasing more than ever, not swinging at your best pitch.
Davis Schneider's second time up. He walked in the second. I think the Blue Jays are fortunate their AAA affiliate is so close that Buffalo's only a couple of hours away. They have been using that shuttle up and down several times. And again, Davis Schneider very, very hot, not only drawing a ton of walks, but also a lot of power. 5 home runs in his last 16 games at Buffalo. That has earned him a trip back up. That and the fact the Blue Jays will see a number of lefties on the road trip. So John Schneider hoping Davis Schneider can keep that power stroke going here with the major league level. Maybe the least likely guy to chase the changeup is Davis Schneider.
Yeah, I was thinking with Seymour on the mound, it's almost like you want to get one of his changeups that he leaves in the middle of the plate, but we've seen today he's pretty good at keeping it out there.
In total, Davis Schneider has played 30 games at AAA this year, and his on-base percentage is .504. He was getting on base 50% of the time. Now that's AAA.
Yep.
We have seen him obviously get very hot in spurts at the big league level. He swings through this one, and not his best cut right there. 2 down.
Bring the colors of the ballpark to your home with Beauty Tone Paint's Toronto Blue Jays collection. Only at Home Hardware and Building Centers.
Final game of this series, the Blue Jays just trying to salvage the finale. They have lost the first 3. They are up 2-1 here in the bottom of the 4th. With 2 out, the bases empty, and the batter Luis Urias grounded into a double play against Casey Legumina back in the second.
You know, going back to what Arden was referring to in the Rays and their changeup, so Davis Schneider just struck out on the fastball up in the zone, but I would argue that he struck out on that fastball because of Seymour's changeup, right? It's in your head, you're thinking about it, you've already swung at it earlier in that bat, so it's not just the final product of that changeup, it's the impact it has on other pitches.
That's the changeup again. You can see all the swings are the same. I'll use the word flail. If you can see a hitter kind of reach and flail at a pitch, chances are very, very, very good it's a changeup or a splitter.
Diving down and away.
Yeah. And strike 3 called. Seymour with a 3-up, 3-down, bottom of the fourth. It's still 2-1 Blue Jays. Third base is an interesting position. You can get all kinds of different plays. Sometimes it's the hot corner. Today, Joe, it's been more like kind of the unusual tricky corner down there for Kaz Okamoto, but he's made the plays.
Well, he has been going through it earlier. We've seen some of his struggles around the third base bag after a very good stretch. But today he got a little day off rest yesterday, and he has really bounced back. And maybe sometimes you just need to take a load off and get your feet back under you, and that's certainly what he is doing today, using those legs to make some very nice plays. This is his 96th start of the season at third base. He's played a lot of baseball, and remember where he's coming from in Japan. They have a day off every week.
Right.
So this workload is like no other for him, and probably needs a day here and there.
Some nice plays behind Shane Bieber today. 2-1 Blue Jays, top five, bottom third of the order. Beginning with Ben Williamson, the shortstop, who grounded out. One of the highlights you just saw was a Williamson ground ball. Bieber starts him with a strike. Bieber at 56 pitches now, 37 strikes, 19 balls. Look out. That is a fair ball.
Get it fair. He did.
Throw the ball on to first. That's the out. Bieber was checking to make sure. Williamson was in no position to run after just kind of trying to stay out of the way of it, but that is a fair ball and out number one.
You feel bad for the hitter for a split second, but once you get on this baseball, you get it while it's fair. It's an easy out. Unfortunate as a hitter. That's probably happened to everyone at least once. Trying to get out of the way, and the barrel's right there. Shane making sure it's fair. Yeah, it's fair.
Now Richie Palacios. Boy, Bieber's hitting his spots pretty consistently so far today. If the Blue Jays do indeed become a seller, and there are different degrees of selling, right? But if they do become a seller to some degree, and Shane Bieber continues to look like this, and he's due to get another start in Washington, there will be interested teams.
Absolutely. What he did in that last start, this is only his 6th start, so we're seeing it, and other teams are certainly seeing that he is starting to come into his own here after his return from injury. It takes time. You can't just come back and think it's all going to be great right away. Took a while for him.
Palacios in a little bit of discomfort. Found that off his right foot. And Brendan Miller, the home plate umpire, giving him a little bit of time. Up and away for ball one. Bieber is a free agent at the end of the season. Another reason why, the guys that we talk about as potential trade targets generally you would think are the guys whose contracts are up. Those are the first types of players that selling teams look to move because they're about to become free agents. Just out, 2-2. Kevin Gausman, as has become much discussed in the last couple of days, he is up at the end of this season as well. Spoke very candidly about it over the last couple of days. He and his wife spending some time on the field after his start a couple of nights ago, saying he really had hoped and continues to hope that he will be a Blue Jay all the way through this season. But at the same time, Joe, he understands it's business.
He understands the business, and he understands how his team has been playing, the way they've fallen in the standings. So they're going to need a run and a half here in the next week to change that.
2 down, and here's Fiducia, the number 9 hitter, who doubled with 2 outs in the third and then came in to score on the base hit by Yandy Diaz. That accounts for the 1 Rays run so far today. Kevin Cash has been getting some very good mileage out of his catchers in this series. Fortes homered on Monday night, a solo shot, hit a 3-run homer on Tuesday night. And now a double and a run scored for Fiducia here today. The 1-1 on the way, and a ground ball to short. Nice hop for Ernie Clement, and a nice fifth inning for Shane Bieber. 3 ground ball outs, 2 on Blue Jays, and an update now with Jamie Campbell. Giveaway. The newly unveiled statue honors the 1992 and 93 teams who won back-to-back World Series championships. Get your tickets now at bluejays.com/promotions. Another great shot, and you can see the location of the statue just outside Rogers Center. Miles Straw thinking about trying to bunt his way on to begin the bottom of the 5th. Takes a strike. It's even at 1-1. Third inning of work for Ian Seymour, the bulk guy today. He'll face Straw, Pinango, and Guerrero. 1-2. That changeup in a different kind of spot than most of the ones he's been getting the swings on, but Straw took it for a strike.
That might be why he had that look on his face, because if you're going to hit the changeup from Seymour, you want to get that one that's getting a lot of the plate, because a lot of them are just off the edge like that last pitch. Fastball. Enticing those swings.
And a swing and a miss at a fastball up and away for out number 1.
Interesting delivery from Seymour. You'll see that he's looking all the way over to the third base dugout as he's delivering the baseball, but all of his momentum is going in that direction. His head does a right turn as he's delivering the baseball.
Third strikeout in a row for Seymour, and here's Pinango. 1 for 2, doubled off Seymour in the 3rd inning and came in to score on the Springer base hit. Pinango getting called back up when Jonathan Clase went on the IL with plantar fasciitis. Don't know how long that'll keep him out. And Jesus Sanchez is trying to work his way back from that sprained ankle a few weeks ago. Not yet in rehab games. This is popped up. Caminero can't make the play. It just got into the netting before he could squeeze it.
He was inching closer and closer to that short wall, and the netting may have had an extra foot or two, but just comes up short.
So it remains 1-2. Swung on and missed. 4 consecutive strikeouts now for Seymour.
There's the fastball again. Opponent's hitting just 207 against that 4-seamer, but again, I think it's the pitches that are all working in concert with one another, giving these Jays hitters trouble.
Now Guerrero, a strikeout and a fly ball to right. Takes down and away, ball 1. Last game of the homestand, still looking for his first home run here this season. Off the end of the bat, 1-1.
The right-handed hitters are going to have to stay on it. All those changeups are out there. George was able to reach out and cover his,
right,
but it's an approach that he was battling with 2 strikes. Early in the count, you got to lay off if it's not in the middle of the plate, or make sure you're thinking the other way and staying behind it.
Little bit in for ball 2. And that'll get into center field, a base hit. You could hear from the sound it wasn't off the sweet part of the barrel, but he got enough of the changeup to get it into center for a single.
Right off the end of the bat, out front of that changeup, and I think we heard the bat break. Saw some splinters of wood go flying, but Vladdy will take it.
A 2-out base hit, and that'll bring up Ernie Clement, who is 1 for 2. Had a base hit and scored in the first, flied out in the third. And Guerrero draws a throw. Does have 7 steals on the season, but most of them are kind of element of surprise stolen bases. You don't see guys throwing over on Vladdy very often.
You could take a shot and go first move and just try it if you wanted to. Guess and hope you guess right.
And he's going. And Clement hits a fly ball to left field. It's hit pretty well, but it's going to be caught right at the wall in the corner by Simpson. And that is out number 3. So Kevin Cash has been at this a while. This is his 12th season as the manager of the Tampa Bay Rays, and he's got 955 wins against 826 losses. He has led the Rays to the postseason 5 times, including to the World Series in 2020. You can see Terry Francona, the future Hall of Famer, lapping the field in terms of career victories. But Kevin Cash has been one of the best for many years. He is still just 48 years of age. Still has the boyish face. It's just being a manager has kind of grayed the beard out a little bit over the years.
Even when you're in first place.
Yeah.
Kevin's in a sweet spot too. He's from the area down there in Tampa, and it has to be a great passion to manage that team right there.
This is a fair ball. Kurt picks it up in time to get Yandy Diaz. 1 down.
Cash is managing a lower payroll team too. Always a challenge. You see Tito's name on there, Terry Francona, who I know you know very well, Dan. He was out of the game and the Reds called upon him. He came back to the game. You know, Dave Roberts with the Dodgers, they're going to win a whole lot. They've done that for years. But for what Cash has done down there, it's not always all roses. I know when you're down there and the attendance isn't great, and I'm sure they got to listen to fans from other teams come into their building, all that stuff. But he has been steering the ship, and they're having a good one again this season.
Yeah, the players, the manager, the coaches, they deserve more fan support than they are getting, but it just isn't there in Tampa, and especially when the Yankees and Red Sox come to town. It often feels like a road game for the Rays. Cash, by the way, for those who don't know, was a Blue Jay for parts of 3 seasons, 2002, 3, and 4. Backup catcher.
They do have some lean years, as all teams do at times, but I think too with the way they go about it and the lower payroll and they have to do it, it's just like sometimes the mix is just right and everything's working, and right now we've been watching it for 4 days.
And we spoke to him in Dunedin. I can picture it on the third base side of the field at down in Dunedin, and he was confident about his team then. And nobody was talking about his team coming into the year. It was, well, the Yankees are going to be really good, and the Blue Jays are the defending American League champions. Clement's got it, sliding stop. What a play by Ernie Clement for out number 2.
A lot of balls in play from this Rays offense, and the Blue Jays defense has been up to the task this afternoon. Ernie ranging to his left, to his feet, an accurate throw and a quick release.
Two down, and here's Junior Caminero, who has lined out and struck out. Popped up back of the plate and headed for the seats. So Joe, Shane Bieber's now gotten 17 outs today. 12 of them have been on the ground.
Wow.
4 in the air and 1 strikeout. He has not walked a batter today.
The changeup, the cutter, the curveball, those are pitches where he can get a lot of ground balls. They've got that downward action. He's not a sinker ball pitcher. It's a four-seam fastball.
And another example right there with that four-seamer. He's been on the edges. He has not left many at all over the middle of the plate today. 0-2. So you're getting a guy like Caminero in an 0-2 count. He's got to swing at that pitch because it's close enough to the outside corner, but it's far enough out there that he couldn't really do anything with it. Bieber looking very similar to his last start against the White Sox. Swing and a miss. He got it. And a little pumped up about it as well. He has now set down 7 in a row, his second strikeout of the afternoon, as he gets Caminero. Sign up to become a Rogers customer and be a part of Canada's winning inning. When the Blue Jays get a hit this inning, you can win exclusive 50th season prizes. Visit Rogers.com today. That's the control room. That's a level below us, a little bit further up the third base line. As you can see, that's where so many people do so much good work for the in-ballpark experience. Everything you see on the video boards, the Jumbotron, all the scoreboards here at Rogers Center. If you and I ever have a guest, family or friend coming in, show them our booth, show them the radio booth, and inevitably they go, "What's in there?"
It's a must-see. It's a must-see.
Because that place, there's a lot going on in there, and everybody sees all the screens and the lights, and they want to look in there. George Springer has walked and also had an RBI single today. Now he lines one down the left field line, and it's going to get down and into the corner. Springer makes the turn, and he's into second with a leadoff double.
Well, Ian Seymour is not fooling George Springer this afternoon. An RBI single in the third, and this is a slider that comes right into the barrel that he rips down the left field line.
Springer is one of the few who is swinging the bat well right now. He's now got 6 hits in the series, including a couple of doubles. And again, it's a one-run game. It's a leadoff double. Can they get this runner in? Alejandro Kirk. And a ground ball to short. Boy, Kirk is a guy who obviously understands the assignment and is so proficient at hitting the ball to the right side, but was out in front and pulled that to the shortstop.
I was just about to say right guy, right spot, only because you would think in this situation as a hitter, and I would think Kirk would do that, you really have to tell yourself, let that ball travel, let it get deep. We've seen his flat swing path hit the ball the other way, but he played right into the pitcher's hand there. Threw a sinker, catches him out front and around it.
Like he might be the first guy on the whole roster you would pick to get that runner over to third.
And again, I think even just about the awareness of what I'm trying to do here, what I need to do here, and still got him out front.
The margin is so slim for this team to score enough to win.
Hitters will try to manipulate their hands to get inside that ball to go that way.
So Springer's still at second with 1 out, and the batter is Kazuma Okamoto, who has struck out and flied out. long 0 for right now. 0 for 21 at the moment for Okamoto, down to 225. Seymour's got excellent command of that changeup.
Yeah, it's out there, always out there on that edge or just off.
Fouled back, and it's 1-2.
There haven't been many of them that he leaves on the plate, and we'll see if he doesn't do it again here at Okamoto, trying to go down or off the plate away.
And he got him.
There
The
it is.
changeup down. Another strikeout for Seymour.
And it's really hard. It's really hard to cover these pitches. We've talked about it all afternoon, how it's a strength of Seymour's, but at some point as hitters you have to try, and I know it's tough with 2 strikes, but you really have to concede the inside part of the plate. If he throws a fastball in there, you tip your hat, but you really got to try to cover where you think he's going.
So 2 down. Springer's still out at second, and here's Davis Schneider, who walked in the second and struck out in the 4th. The strikeout was against Seymour, and he went after a fastball up and away out of the zone for strike 3. Again, the change. You can see why when he's on, he can be really tough. When he misses his spots, there's not enough, maybe power in the game or velocity, however you want to put it, that he'll give up some hits. But when he is spotting that changeup, you can see why he can be successful. Tried it again.
I mean, you're talking about a guy with a 4.5 ERA here. He doesn't have a 2 ERA with nasty stuff. So obviously he's hittable. He's been hit. But this could be also just a reflection of this Blue Jays offense right now.
Taken high, 2-2. He tried to get Schneider to chase like he did his first time up against him. And a fly ball to shallow right field. Mesa is there, and the Blue Jays cannot take advantage of the leadoff double from George Springer. On Saturday, August 15th, specialty ticket purchasers will receive a Blue Jays plush Care Bear. Bring a little extra cheer to game day and show your Blue Jays some love. Get your specialty tickets today at bluejays.com/promotions. Well, how about Shane Bieber working into the 7th here today? 6 innings, 1 run on only 75 pitches, as he will face 4, 5, 6 here in the 7th. Victor Mesa Jr. leading it off. Mesa, a couple of ground outs. Swings through a breaking ball, and it's 1-1.
That's a very good pitch for him in that last start, both the curveball and the slider to left-handers against the White Sox.
Tyler Rogers just got up. Bieber has not walked a batter today. Would like to keep that streak intact. Beautiful day, and the Blue Jays trying to find a way to hold off the Rays and win this ball game. Look at that, trying to bunt for a base hit. 3-1, popped it foul.
Confirming with Brennan Miller that it was a strike, but I think it was off the plate. You start squaring to bunt like that too, you can lose the strike zone a little bit. If he stays in his stance, he probably takes it for ball 4.
Now the 3-2, and he got him. He swings through a curveball for strike 3.
Staying away with that breaking pitch, that curveball that he'll backdoor. Staying away from danger too in a 1-run ball game out there.
3rd strikeout of the afternoon, 2nd in a row. And now Johnny DeLuca 1 for 2, had a double his last time up. And Kirk might have bought a strike call, but DeLuca's challenging.
The pitch was called a strike and the batter is challenging.
And a good challenge
The
there.
pitch is the ball. Tampa Bay has 2 challenges remaining.
That one about a full ball off the plate. So it's 1-0 on DeLuca. Both teams still with 2 challenges. Popped up. Kirk coming back in the 2nd row. That's the kind of bounce you want to get when you're getting a foul ball. The seat does 98% of the work, and you get a little uneasy one, and then you make a friend. There you go. Inside, ball 2.
We've seen a handful of sinkers from Shane Bieber this afternoon, and the way that ball ran, it got me thinking earlier. Yandy Diaz got jammed on one. I think it was. Broke a few of those out in his San Diego start as well.
Bieber fields his position well, makes a good play there, and DeLuca retired for out number 2.
Don't really account for that pitch from Bieber, but you wonder if it's, I'll have to talk to him about that, whether it's something he's breaking out just on occasion, or he wants to run it in on a right-hander just for a bit of a different look because he uses the 4-seamer with the cutter and slider away so much.
Let's see how he attacks Chandler Simpson for the 3rd time today. He got Simpson to ground out in the 2nd and a fly ball to shallow center in the 4th. And this is in the air, popped up shallow left. Davis Schneider. How about Shane Bieber? 7 very impressive innings here this afternoon. Time for the 7th inning stretch at Rogers Center with the Blue Jays up a run.
Well, let's check in on one of the Blue Jays' top prospects, 20-year-old shortstop Arjun Namala, because he's been making some loud contact of late. That homer right there was last night with the AA New Hampshire Fisher Cats, 436 feet to the opposite field. And this one was this afternoon in a full count, down and in. Namala pulls it over the left field wall. He now has 4 homers in 8 games since returning from the IL with a hamstring injury. And 3 of those homers have come in 2-strike counts. That demonstrates not only Namala's talent, but his conviction to his approach, his playing in the box. Those have been big focuses for him this season. Blue Jays have also been looking for him to show some more aggressiveness on the bases, some assertiveness defensively. Worth remembering that at 20, Namala is still younger than all but 3 of Toronto's 20 picks in this year's draft.
That is just foul off the bat of Luis Urias. Thank you, Arden. Arjun Namala, 20 years of age. That is very, very young to be at the AA level. He has an .866 OPS in 26 games at AA, and as you can see, Shane Bieber is done for the afternoon. So on the heels of the very good one against the White Sox, 6 scoreless, just as impressive today against the Rays, 7 innings, 1 run. Back to Namala. The power is obvious. The swings are impressive. Arden talked about a couple of things they're looking for, just that consistency defensively. He's got a lot of tools, a lot of skill. Just make sure you make the routine plays, and then can he cut down on the swing and miss a bit. But when he squares it up, it's big league power in a 20-year-old guy.
Yeah, that's exactly what the minor leagues are for. Continue to hone those skills and try to improve upon the areas that you just described right there. But you have to love that bat, the defensive profile,
Urias down on strikes. 6 now for Seymour. Well, depending on how things go the next couple of weeks, we may be seeing more players from the system coming up to Toronto. I don't think anybody should expect that Namala is going to be in the big leagues this year. I don't think that is any sort of a possibility. He's only had 30 games at AA. He had a hamstring injury that cost him a month earlier this season. He still needs a lot of reps. Miles Straw got into it off the facing of the 400 level, but he pulled it foul. Straighten it out, Miles.
This one came in. It looked like it cut on him a little bit. Came right into that barrel. We've seen Miles do that in early batting practice, looking to pull the ball in the air.
He's challenging this one.
The pitch was called a strike, and the batter is challenging.
And a successful
the ball.
challenge.
Toronto's 2 challenges remaining.
So it's 1-1, and the Blue Jays still with both challenges remaining.
And if you're a hitter like Miles Straw, you either be the guy that you're contact oriented, put in play, use your speed, or just take some shots. Maybe you run into one. He knows his role. He's going to pinch run. He's going to play defense. Anything you can do with the bat that can help.
Seymour ahead 1-2, and that's strike 3 called, and Miles is challenging
Pitch is called
again.
strike, batter's challenging.
And he's right again.
Pitches the ball. Toronto's 2 challenges remaining.
Boy, you don't see many at bats with 2 successful challenges in them.
Close as it gets right there.
Living on the edge right now. Fouls it back.
That changeup caught a little more of the plate. Just didn't square it up.
It'll be Tyler Rogers in the top of the 8th. Down in, it's full. Now the full count pitch, and off the corner. So a couple of successful challenges wind up helping Miles Straw get to first base.
That is quite a plate appearance by Miles Straw. Did he ever earn that walk? Had a battle for it, battled the umpire a couple times.
So he's at first with 1 out. Straw has good speed, a threat to go. It is a lefty on the mound in Seymour. And here's Pinyango, who is 1 for 3, had a double off Seymour back in the 3rd. Not going, and it's strike 1 call. In fact, Straw kind of breaking back to the bag a little bit as Seymour started his move. Strike 2.
I think Pinyango looking for that spin again. The first pitch was the sweeper. That was a changeup, stayed straight, but right there in the middle of the zone.
And then back to the sweeper again, got a lot of the plate. Pinyango fouls it back.
It's a pretty good 0-2 swing at it, though. Not sure how advanced Pinyango is at that, but he swung at that like he was looking for the breaking pitch again.
Takes it off the corner for ball 1. Boy, wouldn't a little insurance for this team that has been struggling for offense so badly, wouldn't that be nice here in the late stages of this one? There goes Straw, and Pinyango hits it in the air to center field, deep but playable. It'll be caught by DeLuca, so Straw's got to go back. 2 down.
Good swing by Pinyango, but it looked like that fastball from Seymour got in just enough. Jammed him just a hair and hit it to the deepest part of the ballpark. Oh, it was actually maybe toward the end of the bat. Maybe a little too quick.
And a little frustrated. He didn't quite get all of it. So 2 down. Straw's back at first. And here's Guerrero. 1 for 3. Had a base hit his last time up. Takes it up and away. 1-0. Straw going. Guerrero takes a strike, and that's stolen easily by Miles Straw, his 4th of the season.
Take a shot and guess first move with the lefty on the mound. He does that. When you guess right, no chance. Good job by Vladdy ahead in the count. Go ahead and take that pitch.
Do you think, given the way things have been going for Guerrero, this might help him a little bit? Now he knows, hey, a single probably scores a run. He doesn't have to try to hit it out of the ballpark.
As long as he doesn't expand the zone too much, because they don't necessarily need to throw him strikes.
And there's a single to right, but he's hit it hard on a line. Straw's on his way to the plate, and in there, standing up. And Guerrero delivers with an RBI single to make it 3-1.
Looked like a fastball right in the middle of the plate. Vladdy lines it into right, and if you're Carlos Feblis at third base, you can't be waiting around. You have to play this game aggressively. We've heard John Schneider talk about the hitting needs to be aggressive. That third base coach is aggressive right here, challenging the good young arm from Victor Mesa Jr. in right.
There goes Guerrero. Whoa, he is out and then slid way across the bag, but the out call had already been recorded, but he does drive in a run to make it 3-1 now at the end of 7. Miles Straw doing a lot of work that half inning as well. And it is time now for a Blue Jays Central update with Jamie and Caleb. Hey, the next Looney Dogs night presented by Schneider's comes your way on Tuesday, August 11th. Round up your crew and come hungry for the perfect summer night at the ballpark. Get tickets today at bluejays.com/promotions. On to the 8th inning, and Tyler Rogers is into the game with the Blue Jays now leading by 2.
Just one appearance for Rogers in this series. That was yesterday, a scoreless inning in that 4-2 loss. Game number 48 for Rogers. Over his last 22 appearances, 1 earned run. 21 2/3 innings.
Facing the 7-8-9 part of the Rays lineup. Looks like he's got a little bit of shadows working for him now too here in the 8th inning.
He is a ground ball machine off of a team that makes a lot of contact.
And Williamson 0 for 2. And quickly an 0-2 count, but Williamson will challenge.
Pitch is called a strike. Batter challenging.
Ooh, just clipped the
Pitch is a
corner.
strike. Tampa Bay has 1 challenge remaining.
So it's 0-2 on Williamson, and the Rays down to 1 challenge. Up and away. Now he got him. Waves it one well off the plate. A number of defensive changes for the Blue Jays as well, as they now hold this lead into the 8th inning. Dalton Varsho's come in to play center. Miles Straw to right. Pinyango out of the game. Andres Jimenez in at short. Ernie Clement to second. Luis Urias out of the game. chopper back to the mound off the bat of Palacios for out number 2.
And there is said ground ball, and Tyler takes it himself right back to the mound.
A couple of quick outs here in the 8th inning. And now the number 9 hitter, Hunter Fiducia, doubled and scored in the 3rd, grounded out in the 5th. At the knees, and it's 0-1. Off the corner. There is still nobody up in the Rays pen. Seymour's going to come back out for more unless somebody was throwing and sat down, but nothing going on right now. But the Blue Jays picking up a big run in the bottom of the 7th. And Miles Straw doing a lot of the work. 2 successful challenges, wound up walking, stole a base, and then had enough speed to come in on that RBI single by Guerrero. In the air to right, right at Straw. Tyler Rogers does it again. 3 up, 3 down in the 8th.
I want it in real life.
Discover the magic of BetMGM Casino. Check out a wide variety of table games with a live dealer, roulette, blackjack, and more. Download the BetMGM Ontario app. Please gamble responsibly.
Bottom of the 8th inning, a beautiful Thursday afternoon. Glad to have you with us. 43,225 here today. Yet another sellout. And right now they see their Blue Jays up by 2. Going bottom 8. With Ernie Clement leading it off. Clement, Springer, and Kirk coming up this inning. One for 3 for Clement. A single and a run scored back in the 1st. 3 runs on 7 hits for the Blue Jays. They've left 5. 1 run on only 3 hits for the Rays today. They've left 2. Shane Bieber was outstanding today. 1 run on 3 hits, did not walk a batter, struck out 3. A ton of ground ball outs. Clement with a fly ball to left. Simpson for the out.
Stream every pitch on Canada's best and most reliable 5G Plus network. Visit Rogers.com today to get connected.
Louis Varland is up, getting ready to come in the 9th. Here's George Springer, and George has had a good day. 2 for 2 with a walk before this. A roller down to 3rd here for the 2nd out. And that'll bring up Alejandro Kirk. Seymour trying to go 6 innings as the bulk guy today after Casey Legumina went the first 2. But the Blue Jays have nicked him, Joe, just enough to hold a lead here. Really could have had 1 or 2 more with some good execution or a good bounce here and there. He's been really good, but they've done just enough against him so far.
And as good as Shane Bieber has been this afternoon, we've criticized this Blue Jays defense a lot lately, and it has been on point for the most part. Very good defense today, and that's helped get this 3-1 lead.
Now, Okamoto with some good plays. Clement with a very good play. Guerrero a good play. Straw the catch out in center way back in the 1st.
And you're facing a team that makes a lot of contact. You need to play good D.
1-2 on Kirk. And he strikes out to end the inning. So it is on to the ninth here at Rogers Center. The Blue Jays with a 3-1 lead, trying to snap their 4-game losing streak with Louis Varland on his way in. Next Sunday, Jays Care is giving away a trip to the Amalfi Coast and a luxury Hawaii vacation. And don't forget, the grand prize jackpot is expected to surpass $2 million. Get your tickets now at bluejays.com/5050 from participating provinces. Top of the ninth inning, a save situation, and that means Louis Varland is on the mound.
Louis Varland pitched a scoreless inning yesterday just because he had 3 days off. Needed to get him a little bit of work. First time All-Star this year for Louis. 20 saves, going for number 21 right here.
And he's going to get the top of the order, beginning with Yandy Diaz. More defensive changes as now Nathan Lucas has entered the game as well. So there's Straw. He has moved to left. Lucas entering the game at right. So Davis Schneider is now out of the game. And the 0-2 to Yandy Diaz. Taken high. Diaz, Jonathan Aranda, Junior Caminero. The 3 best hitters the Rays have. Stays alive as Yandy Diaz does so often. He can really make you work to finish him off.
Diaz, a very good breaking ball hitter, does a lot of damage, but this is different from Louis Varland.
Back towards the mound. Varland doesn't rush it, makes the play, 1 down. So the Blue Jays off to Boston tonight, and tomorrow night's game at Fenway is part of MLB's Apple TV package. That game will begin at 6:30 Eastern time. You can watch Friday Night Baseball all season long, plus enjoy exclusive shows, movies, and new releases every week on Apple TV. We will be back with you on Saturday, and look at this pitching matchup. Dylan Cease and Sonny Gray. Will see you Saturday afternoon. Oh, 0-1 on Jonathan Aranda. 0 for 3. So tomorrow night, by the way, it's Trey Savage for the Blue Jays against Patrick Sandoval. Dylan Cease and Sonny Gray on Saturday. Swing and a miss, 1-2. And it looks like Kevin Gausman. It is Kevin Gausman for the Blue Jays, and it looks like it would be Ranger Suarez for the Red Sox on Sunday. Fights it off.
A changeup out there from Louis.
Again, the 1-2. And he got a piece of that one. Just about took it out of Kirk's glove.
Triple digits after the changeup, even though his changeup's 92, 93.
Strike 3 called, 2 down.
It just freezes him, and after seeing a couple of those different pitches too, Louis' fastball is just by you.
So they are an out away from snapping their 4-game losing streak. The batter is Junior Caminero, 0 for 3. And it's fouled off. It's 0-1. Blue Jays with runs today in the first, the third, the seventh. Driven in by Kirk, Springer, and Guerrero. Again, Shane Bieber really the biggest part of the game today. A tremendous performance. Just seemed to be totally locked in and in command the entire afternoon.
Very much in control. You mentioned a lot of ground balls. And when you're playing around the edges of the plate, you'll get a lot of those swings and catching the top of the baseball.
Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. Better than 43,000 here today, and most of them on their feet right now. Finishes it off by picking up the save. Shane Bieber the win, and the Blue Jays salvage the final game of the series, beating the Rays 3-1.
Well, it took a while, but a much better all-around team effort by the Blue Jays here this afternoon. It starts on the mound with Shane Bieber, an outstanding performance. The bullpen does their job as we expect. The offense just scores enough. But again, I have to note the special defense was much better this afternoon. It was a difference maker behind Bieber and the Blue Jays pitching staff.
So the Blue Jays hope to carry this momentum into the beginning of their series at Fenway Park in Boston tomorrow night. Again, that game is on Apple TV+. We are back with you for the Saturday and Sunday games right now.